Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Harakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, GMS Ruel, and peace and salutations to the elect of Yasharala. Quick lesson, man, on the topic of these Christians and how they believe in, the rapture doctrine, okay, which they believe that there's something called a pre-tribulation rapture, where the Lord is gonna beam or rapture up, okay, all of his believers, okay, before the tribulation happens, Jacob's trouble, which is totally false, because those that are going to be raptured up with the Lord are going to have to go through Jacob's trouble, okay, like, let's get it, Zechariah. Zechariah 13:8, it says, "And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die." All right, 2 parts, 2/3 of the nation of Yasharala will die on this side during that tribulation period, during Jacob's trouble, okay, before the Lord returns. It says, "But the 3rd part shall be left therein," okay, "and I will bring the 3rd part," all right, the chosen, the righteous of Yasharala, of the Lord's people, through. It says, "And I will bring the 3rd part through the fire," okay, through the fire, through the tribulation, through Jacob's trouble, okay, not rapture them up before the tribulation, before the fire. No, he's going to bring them through the fire, through the tribulation period, okay, Jacob's trouble, okay, "and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried," okay, "and they shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord Yahweh Shai is my God," okay, my power, okay. So the Lord is going to bring, all right, his chosen people, his righteous elect through the tribulation period, okay, and try them, okay. He's going to be with them, okay. He's going to get them through all types of trouble, feed them in the time of great famine, okay, keep them alive in the time of great death, okay, keep them sustained, okay, all right, and eventually save them, okay, beam them up into the chariots of the Lord, all right, when he returns, and exempt them from the destruction and the judgment of this wicked-ass place called America, okay. So there ain't going to be no pre-tribulation salvation rapture. That's false, all right. Amos 9:10, it says, "All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword," all right. And I brought this precept out because, these Christians and their pre-tribulation doctrine, they believe in that, there's going to be a pre-tribulation rapture, and then 7 years of tribulation is going to happen, and, the Lord's, those that don't believe, they're going to have 7 years during the tribulation period to repent and get right with the Lord, and then the Lord's going to come back and rapture the rest of them up and go to heaven. No, that's false. It says, "All the sinners of my people." All right, so there's only going to be one deliverance. When the Lord returns, he's going to come and deliver his elect, his chosen, out of his chosen people, the remnant of his people. It says a remnant shall return, okay? Not all of them, not a big majority of them, a remnant, a small amount, okay? So it says, "All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword," okay? So the Lord ain't going to give them a 7-year chance during the tribulation period. No, the Lord's going to destroy them, okay, during the tribulation period or at the conclusion of it by nuclear fire. All right, World War III, 200 million nuclear ICBM nuclear missiles hitting America and burning these people up in the lake of fire, which is going to be America being destroyed by nuclear missiles. That's the lake of fire, okay? All right, that's what's going to happen. All right, no pre-tribulation, all right, and then another rapture later. No, man. All right, there's only going to be one deliverance. All right, and it's not going to be before the tribulation. It's going to be at the conclusion, at the end of it. All right, because that's basically saying the Lord's going to return twice again. You know, he's going to return his second time and then return again 7 years later. No, man. That's not what's going to happen. Okay? Because the Lord, when he returns, that's when he's going to so-called rapture his people up. Okay? Okay? Deliver his people. Deliver the chosen. And then that's all who he's coming for, man. He's going to deliver his elect. Okay? And even some of his elect will have to die. Okay? And be beheaded. Let's get that, man. All right? Matthew, not that. Where is it at? Yeah, Revelation 20:4 says, "And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai, and for the word of Yahweh, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they that lived and reigned with Yahweh Shai HaMashiach 1,000 years." All right. It says the souls of them that were beheaded. Okay. Does this sound like being raptured up? You know, before the tribulation period? No, this sounds like the end of the tribulation period, and some of the Lord's elect chosen men, all right, will have to be beheaded and be martyrs for the testimony of the Lord. But they're going to rise first. Okay. Remember that, man. They're going to rise first. They're going to be in the chariots. They're still going to be saved. All right, they're just going to have to be a martyr, okay? Their spirits are going to be redeemed, all right, first. And they're going to end up being in the chariots, meeting, all right, the rest of the elect that don't die. Like the scriptures say, some of you shall not taste of death when the Son of Man returns, all right? Okay? So even some, of the righteous elect, chosen of the Lord will have to die and be beheaded, okay? All right, that sounds like tribulation. All right. Doesn't sound like no pre-tribulation rapture. We're going through the tribulation right now, man. We're in the beginning stages. Well, it's already began, okay? All right. The beginning of this tribulation period, before the Lord returns and he saves his chosen people, okay, has already begun. Okay. Has a rapture happened? No. All right. So that's proof right there that these Christians' pre-tribulation rapture is false, because we're already in the tribulation. It has begun already. It just hasn't gone full-blown, full blast, thousands of people dying on your right side and 1,000 people on your left, All right. Famine of the word. Okay. Society collapsing fully. The dollar, money worth nothing, great famines, great pestilence, on a level that the world has never seen before. We're not there yet. But we are seeing things, all right, around the world and even near us that are happening that we have never seen before, all right, on a level that we've never seen before, and it's only going to get worse. So we're in that tribulation period, all right. So has the rapture happened? No, it has not. Okay, And even then, some men of the Lord, of the chosen, all right, that will be redeemed, will have to be beheaded and unalived, all right? They're still going to be saved, but they're going to be saved through martyrdom, all right? This is Matthew 24:13. It says, but he that shall endure to the end of what? Until the Lord returns, all right? Not he that is raptured up before the enduring tribulation period, Jacob's trouble. No, that's not what, no. That's false, man. But he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved. All right? Because like in Zechariah 13:9, it says he's going to bring his righteous of his people through the fire, through the tribulation. Okay, that's what that fire represents and symbolizes. All right? Jacob's trouble, the tribulation period before the Lord returning, man. Okay? All hell breaking loose. Okay? The economy crashing, the dollar being worth less than toilet paper. All right, food and water scarcity on a level that the world has never seen before. Okay, diseases and pestilences. All right, on a level that the earth has never seen before, etc. Unalivings on a level that the world has never seen before, happening in America. That's coming, man, to America. Okay. All right. Revelation 2:10, it says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. All right. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. All right. Some of us are going to have to be cast into prison for the testimony of Yahweh Shemi Shai, or because we don't want to take the RFID micro C-hip, the Revelation 13:16. All right. Or because we acknowledge that we worship Yahweh Shemi Shai and we don't want to break any of his laws, man, All right. So some of us are going to have to end up, being put into prison in the near future. All right. During the tribulation period. All right. And suffer for the Lord, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation. You hear that? And ye shall have tribulation 10 days. All right. Be thou faithful unto death. All right. You hear that? Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. All right. So if you want that crown of life, you're going to have to go through the tribulation period and realize and know that there ain't no pre-tribulation rapture, because that's false. It's fake. It's a lie. Okay. Given to you by the liar himself, the devil himself, which means deceiver. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, he's the devil. He's the deceiver of the Bible that the Bible speaks of, because he's the one that comes up with these wayward doctrines. All right, twisting up the true meaning of the Bible, of the scriptures. All right. First Thessalonians 5:2 says, for yourselves know perfectly, all right, that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. Okay. So the Lord, Yahweh Shai, he's coming as a thief in the night, man. Okay. All right. So hey, man, we don't know when the Lord returns. All right. Okay. I don't think I wanted that precept. I didn't mean to bring that one out. Amos 5:18. It says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. What end? To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. So, hey, that doesn't sound like a pre-tribulation rapture. All right. Because when the Lord returns, like the scriptures say, let's get it, man. Luke 12:49, it says, I am come to send fire on the earth. All right, this is the Lord speaking. All right. I am come to send fire on the earth. And what will I if it already be kindled? So when the Lord returns to rapture and save and, to redeem his elect, okay, from the destruction, the earth is already going to be going through tribulation. It's already going to be on fire. And even then, the Lord's going to send more fire on this earth, okay? On top of how much fire and destruction that the earth is going to be going through, okay? Does that sound like a before tribulation rapture? No, that sounds like a after the conclusion of the end of the tribulation, redemption, rapture, okay? So back to that precept. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. And these Christians, they're trying to make the day of the Lord, a desireful day. It's not going to be a good day. It's going to be a hard, treacherous day, even for his elect, because they're going to be going through things. But hey, they're the ones that are going to be saved out of it. All right. Like the scripture says, it at last, that day is great, for none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but ye shall be saved out of it. All right, the Lord's chosen people. All right, the chosen of his chosen people, the elect. All right. Verse 19. All right, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. Shall not the day of the Lord be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it? Okay? So, hey, when the Lord returns, it's going to be all hell on earth. All right? Death all around you. Nowhere to escape. All right? You won't escape death, man, unless the Lord saves you out of it. Okay? And the Lord is only going to come and save his elect, his chosen, out of his people, okay, out of imminent death, okay, because we're all going to be faced with death and judgment and destruction in that day, but the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, is going to save his elect from it and let everybody else die, like the scriptures say, all the sinners of my people shall die, okay, in their iniquity, okay. Matthew 18:8 says, wherefore if thy hand or if thy foot offend thee, cut them off and cast them from thee. It is better for thee to enter into life, all right, the kingdom of heaven. That's what it's talking about, enter into life, enter, the kingdom of heaven, halt or maimed, all right, rather than having 2 hands or 2 feet to be cast into everlasting hell fire, okay. I meant to say just fire, I didn't mean to say hell, but, all right. So, yeah, man, all right, bro, that sounds like a very troubling and troubling time, man, all right. Some of us might, what the hell was that sound? That was probably my neighbor. Some of us might have a limb cut off, all right, going through things, all types of things, man, entering into those chariots, okay, being saved, man, all right. That doesn't sound like a pleasant pre-tribulation period salvation rapture, man, all right. Sounds like we're going to be going through a lot of tribulation, a lot of stuff, a lot of things, hell, all right. Matthew 5:30 says, and if thy right hand offend thee, cut it off and cast it from thee, for it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that thy whole body should be cast into hell. Okay, so it's basically saying the same thing, man, in the previous verse, all right, Matthew 18:8, okay, all right, we're gonna have to be, we're gonna be going through things, man, all right, we're already going through things, cutting off what we like to do right now. All right, cutting off our hobbies and things that hinder us in this truth that are that are lawful, but we want to use that time and energy, all right, towards Yahweh Shem Shai, because salvation and doing the will of the Lord is more important to us than doing what we want to do, even if it is lawful. All right. Okay. And in Jacob's trouble, all right. Yeah. And in Jacob's trouble, all right, we're gonna have to give up everything anyway. Entering into the chariots of Yahweh Shem Shai, entering into the kingdom of heaven, we're not going to be able to carry anything into the kingdom of heaven but our own spirits, because we're going to get a new upgraded body, a new everything, man, a better everything. We can't carry our body, our nose, our fingers, our body, even this decrepit third dimensional mind, mortal mind. That's not going to be, that's not coming with us into the kingdom. We're going to get an even better mind, spirit, mind. I mean, not spirit, but mind. All right. An upgraded mind, an upgraded heart, where the laws and statutes and commandments of the Lord will be programmed within us. Okay. Where we will not go off ever again. All right. We won't sin, not even if we wanted to. All right. So, yeah. I hope this was edifying to the elect. There ain't no pre-tribulation, doc. There ain't no pre-tribulation rapture. That ain't never gonna happen. Okay. All right. The elect, those that will be saved when the Lord returns, is going to have to go through Jacob's trouble.